Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage. We are doing another a very cold week in the life of IronTrap. So it is deep in the winter now for us. We got our really cold weather, and it has been in the teens and low 20s for a couple of days now. This whole week's gonna end up being in the teens overnight, maybe single digits. So we got the heat running in the shop pretty much throughout overnight, and this is basically our first winter with everybody full time, including myself. So there's going to be some adjustment for sure. So what we're going to do is show you guys what we got going in the shop, as usual. What Mike's got going on with the parts stuff. We have a swap meet at the Allentown Fairgrounds where the dirt drags are. They have a winter swap meet once a year indoors. So we are going to set up next to our buddy Pete again, and we're going to hang out there. So we'll show you a little bit of that, and whatever other trouble we get into this week might not be as interesting as the summertime, but we figured we'll take you guys along for the ride again as usual. So let's get going. It's Monday. All right, so a couple things we got going today on Monday in the shop here. So now that we got Dad's daily to drive around the neighborhood, of course it's gotten super cold, so we're not really doing any more outside stuff. So we want to do kind of an inventory. We're going to be swapping this car in storage with the 39 Mercury, because we're going to put that engine in the Mercury. So this car can kind of do some hibernation until we get some more parts for it. So Steve got everything kind of out of the trunk, or a lot of it out of the trunk. Some people have donated parts, and we bought some stuff, and stuff Carl gave us with the car, but we don't know what all we have. So been going through and just kind of seeing. We have a ton of trim. I think we have a full set of trim here, but we're missing a bunch of key items we're missing. There's a splash pan there, but for instance, this window has been hard to find for some reason, so we need a driver's rear quarter with the frame, the whole shebang if possible. But got some Plymouth bumpers, different stuff. So we kind of have an inventory going now. So now while the car's put away, I could start shopping for parts and looking around, and who knows what we might find. Mike can look at the warehouse too. So we got all that stuff done. So, and the back seats in. So we had a viewer do a little trading with us with some merch for these seats that didn't work out in one of his projects or his dad's projects, but super cool. They actually will look just fine in this car. So we got that in. We covered the front seat before we drove it because everybody was yelling at us. So we have that done. We got the Mercury engine here. We ended up at the end of the last video with this engine. We only fired it, and then it it idled a little bit and then died. What it ended up being is that we were overheating the coil, because it is a coil that says, actually I think we were using a 6-volt coil, which was bad, and then we had this one, and I think did the same thing. Use ballast resistor. Well, we didn't have one on it, so we've got a ballast resistor all hooked up on the engine, and we're ready to hook this up. We're trying to run this Lucas distributor I've had in my stash for a while. I bought it at a swap meet, so I don't know how good it is. It did fire the engine, but I don't know if it needs to be addressed on a distributor machine. So we're gonna get work on this week, getting this thing pretty much buttoned up, so we can swap it into the Mercury. But that's a couple things we have going. Hopefully by the end of the week we'll have this thing put away and the Mercury in the shop. All right, so we went and fired the car one time with with a ballast resistor on it, and it ran for a few seconds and then died. So we put the new coil on, and we fired it, and it ran fine and idled. So we learned a big lesson that coils do weird stuff with the timing and everything when they're going bad, and this was doing intermittent problems like that. So now, fingers crossed, we should be able to start this sucker. Still didn't get a starter solenoid. yet, but so we're gonna do this sketchy. All right, ready?
Yep.
Still cold. Sweet. So we were having a bunch of problems last week, right when we filmed that video. When we went to film starting the engine up, to be completely honest with you guys, that wasn't the first start. And the first starts that we had a couple that sort of ran better, but then it started getting progressively worse to the point where we could barely get it to idle, and then it would die. So we found out that the coil was bad. So we swapped out the coil, got it to run after the video was done, and then I said, oh, let's swap on the Lucas distributor that I wanted to put on this thing, and then it started doing the same thing again. And now that we learned our lesson, we changed out the coil, and now it runs really good. It's crazy how it does funky stuff when you got a coil that's overheating or breaking down. So now that we got all of this kind of major stuff done, we're just got to get a belt, couple other odds and ends, some air cleaners, and button up a few things. Yes, we are going to change the water pumps, but they are the engine mounts, so we're going to do that when we put it up in the air to put the new engine, put this engine in. We'll just quick swap out the water pumps. We have some new ones that came with the Mercury actually, and we'll get those in and should be moving right along. So that is a big win for today. We got this thing kind of starting, running on its own, idling. And we can just do all the fine tuning once it's in the car, of course. So yeah, huge win for Monday.
All right, so we're upstairs at the warehouse. As you can see, there's some floor space open. So I've been working on organizing parts and putting them away in organized fashion. So if someone calls and asks what we have, we can easily find it. Been working on moving some parts from the house, and we're in 55-gallon drums out back from the shop. They're gonna be here now, so we have some less stuff kicking around. We'll walk into our actual storage space and take a look. Been moving a bunch of stuff around. So moved all of Matt's, this is all of our keeper parts and boxes for shipping. So this stuff is all not for sale, so I can just direct everyone into this room to the stuff that is for sale. And it looks less of, well, it still looks like a mess, but same stuff as always. 32 to 40 parts in the pallet racking. Been working on getting all the radiators organized, steering boxes, and then Jeff, one of our helpers, came by one day, helped me organize all of our mechanical parts. So all the spindles are on the pallet, pedals, transmission parts, backing plates, working on an engine pallet, chest fans, generators, oil pans, that kind of stuff. This is our brake drums. I have another piece of pallet racking. I have the bars here that I need to put up over here. Then I can put the rest of these big fenders. These are all from the body shop that we saved. So Auburn, Duesenberg fenders. I have a bunch of rear fenders up there. And I also put up the shelves over here. So these are all parts that are already listed on eBay and that are for sale. So when they sell, I can just walk over, pick them off the shelf, box them up. I don't need to do any digging through boxes to try and find anything. So that's helped a bunch to help us keep organized, keep track of parts without misplacing anything. So that's basically it. Not a whole lot going on here. Just moving parts around, listing parts for sale, and getting stuff out to you guys. So later this week, we are headed to we are headed to an event in Allentown at the fairgrounds put on by Carlisle Events. It's called Auto Mania. So I'm gonna be working this week on pulling parts out, getting them into boxes and pallets. And on Wednesday, I'm gonna load up my trailer. And then Thursday is setup day. And then Friday and Saturday and Sunday is a swap meet. We're only gonna be there Friday and Saturday. So I'm gonna get to work and try to get some parts pulled out and priced and organized, so when I get there on Thursday, I can just throw it all out on the table and it's ready to go. So I'm gonna get to work.
Hey guys, it's Tuesday and it is colder than yesterday. So this is the not fun time of year for us. So we're just trying to hide in the shop and get some work done. So I've been working on, and I'm gonna continue working on, we have a longer term video, a longer length video coming out where I'm doing the other door for the Sweetheart Roadster. So yesterday I got, last week I was working on this whole inner structure. I got it all shaped. Yesterday I was working on getting the actual door latch attached and all the bracing and stuff. I made a little tab here that's spot welded in. I have a piece of box tubing that I shaped and is drilled and tapped to fit in there. And now it latches nicely. So I'm gonna be working on putting all the flanges on now. So I already have it marked out here, the shape of the body. So I'm gonna actually cut this off and then I can shape or put a lip on there for the pinch area. Same thing on this side. So moving along pretty good on this. I gotta just finish the bottom corners. So I am hopefully gonna tackle that today. Steve's been working on what, wiring?
Yeah.
So we've been, Steve, when he first started helping us, he kind of started on this car sort of, and he did wiring like a year ago, maybe. So he's trying to remember what 1 year ago Steve did. So we're gonna get some headlights, taillights, and some other stuff in this thing before we swap it out for the 39 Merc to get that in this week to start working on. As you guys saw, triumphant start of the engine, so we are doing good with that. Jeff, that helps us once a week, is coming over today, and I'm gonna have Jeff actually tape the engine off. So we're gonna take a few parts off, tape it off, and then we're gonna dust some satin black onto. We have some Eastwood 2K Aerospray paint, so we're gonna spray some 2K satin black paint on the block and the associated parts so that it is looking just as good on the block and everything as the rest of the engine does. I wasn't going to do it, but I think it would be best. So we're gonna get that done, and then yeah, we'll see where else we get. Mike's over at the warehouse doing cold things. Alright, so it is that time of the week. We're going to start integrating into our week in the life of some mail call stuff as a bunch of people had requested. So we're going to open a handful of packages and see what we got here. So this one is from Bomber's Garage, and
They actually own the golf sign that used to be in the shop.
yes, and won one of our recent live giveaways. That we did.
We gave away a Stuart Warner gift pack. They happened to win one of them.
Sweet. Oh, hoodie. All right. Always use a hoodie. Bomber's Garage hoodie. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. And, oh, more stuff in here. Holy crap. And a
T-shirt and a
Is
hat.
this a girl shirt? Ooh, that.
You look good in that, Matt.
I'll send you guys a photo of me wearing this.
That's great. We should start doing girl shirts like that.
I should start wearing shirts like that.
Please don't.
And a letter and a hat, of course. And a hat. And yeah, it says the golf sign is being treated well in my garage. See you all soon, Bomber and Lindsay. And they gave us a bunch of stickers. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Glad that the sign got a good, loving home and is in hopefully its final resting position in your garage. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Hope to see you soon.
So we got sent these photos. There's no note, but this is from Mark in Winterville, North Carolina.
I think I remember him messaging us today.
These are, there's some GI photos in there. These are the killer photos.
Yeah,
So there's about 8 or 9 photos from a vintage stock car. This is Dick Barlow.
Oh, I know that name.
South Norwalk. That was a bad ending to the night.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, this one's even worse. Look at that one.
Holy moly, those are cool.
This is some rough driving there. See the car on its side.
Oh, jeez.
Car flipped on its side. Man, they were rough drivers. Holy cow. Man, these photos are just literally all crashes. It looks like.
Which is why people went to the stock car
man,
races.
these are all photo by, these are Connecticut.
Okay.
R.W. Manning. So some neat race car photos. There's a few photos from GI. I don't know, World War II probably.
So thank you for that. We'll send you a little care package back. Appreciate it. Is from Neil in Missouri. He sent us an old railroad magazine with a letter in it. Been following your progress. I'm beautiful with interest and hope you will exercise your splendid metalworking and eventually return to your original color. The enclosed 1947 magazine isn't really automotive, but the full page ad on the last page may be one of the sources such as the original owner may have used for the repaint. I was cleaning out my collection and ran across the magazine and thought you'd be a better destination than the trash. So thank you for that. And the last page. Oh yeah, paint your car. Auto enamel, and it's like using like a rag to actually put the paint on. So yeah, it's a good chance you saw that in the back of a magazine and put that on. So thank you, appreciate that. That's cool. We'll save that ad out of the magazine.
So this is from Freddie from the southern tip of Illinois, as he put in his letter. Matt and Mike had this pedal for a lot of years. Thought you might use it. Maybe you could use it on one of your builds. Love the show. Really like watching your garage finds and the story about their past, keeping the past alive. He said he has a 54 Chevy Bel Air that he plays with.
Cool. Thank you.
Let Matt, this is gonna.
Ooh.
Nixon.
Oh, killer. Old Nixon. They made a lot of speedboat stuff. I don't know if I've seen this pedal before. That's
really
super
neat.
cool.
I opened it and I was like, look.
Yeah, awesome. Piece of aluminum, old cool aluminum stuff. Thank you for that. We'll send you a little care package back your way.
That's rad. Last one.
This is from Ed K in South Bend, Indiana.
Midwest. We got like all Midwest packages.
So, and anybody that maybe sent something and we didn't show it here, we'll get it in the next one. We're trying to just throw just a few packages and change the videos a little bit to more what everybody's asking for. So, let's see here. This is Matt and Mike. I thought I would send you these old-time fender covers after watching a video of the Merc you were working on with nothing covering the paint.
We literally just had this discussion.
Yeah, we were just working on the Merc without covering the paint. In fact, Steve's probably working on it in the background, not covering the paint. So these are super cool.
Steve, we got you fender covers.
Cool. We cover guard for your protection.
Excellent.
They're not padded though for when Steve and I drop wrenches on the.
You fold them in half, they'll be padded.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's like.
Oh, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah. There's 3 or 4.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We were literally going to put these to use right now. So thank you guys for all the packages. Appreciate it. And we're going to get back to work.
Yeah.
All right. So today is, what is today? Wednesday. So we ended up putting a radiator on the flathead and got a belt on it and a bunch of stuff. I lied yesterday. We had Jeff clean the engine in preparation to paint, and he found out that it had nice green paint when this thing was rebuilt. They actually repainted it the original green, and it looks really, really good. It was just dirty, so we left it alone, and it looks awesome now that it's clean. Put a radiator on. We actually ran this thing yesterday at the end of the day for like half an hour. Never got over 160 degrees with no fan on it. So this thing's pretty much ready to go. So in the meantime, Steve was buttoning up some wiring on this thing. We have headlights and one marker light. Yeah, look at that. And we have high beams. We found one marker light, but we did not. We have Pete's hooking us. Oh, there we go. Yes. Pete's hooking us up with a marker light for the other fender between him and John. One of our friends, John, is also got a light for us. There's tail lights. Look at that. So this thing was a fight, right, Steve? There's grounds in this thing are
There are none.
horrible. And what did we find in the your wiring you did a year ago? Somebody was messing with you.
A mouse ate the wiring in about 6 different places, just chewed it to pieces.
So Steve was going through and Steve was going through and trying to do the wiring for the taillights. And a year ago, when he kind of first started helping us, this was one of the first big jobs he did. And he's like, "What the heck? I don't remember what's going on." And then we dug down inside, and he found literally like pieces of wiring that were chewed through. So he had to fix all that. The little micey's, they raised some havoc. So now we got some lights on this thing. It starts, it runs. This engine's ready to go. We're gonna swap some cars around. So we're gonna take this and put it in the trailer, get the Mercury out, and do some swapping around the cars and get ready to hopefully fix up the Mercury with this kick-ass flathead we have ready to go.
Fired off almost like a flathead. Yeah. The tea hasn't been out in a while either, huh?
No, it is not. The carbs have been off of it for a while. Need to drive it next
This is the wrong time to take it out of hibernation. It's a little chilly out.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to want to run too well in this weather.
Keep coming.
See the tea there, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Yep.
I did have a handbrake. I used the handbrake.
Did you? Good.
Pushing towards non-shiny things.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. You're gonna get ding something.
All right, so today is Thursday, and we are doing all kinds of different stuff today. We got the Mercury in to get the engine swapped in, and we've already got that pulled out. Last couple shots you saw, we actually were bringing a wood stove in, so it's been like ridiculously cold here. Single digits, teens, overnights. I think this whole week or two, we haven't even really been above freezing hardly. So my propane bill in the shop, since this is like the first time that we've been full-time working in the shop, 7 days a week, you know, heat's running all the time. I had to leave the heater on like 24 hours a day, cycling on and off, and I am blowing through propane. So I finally bit the bullet, bought a secondhand wood stove, so we got that put in. That's what the last couple shots were. We got that all in and plumbed. Jason took a break from working on his pickup truck to come help me be the wood stove extraordinaire. He can hang out today, and this is what we're doing. So we got this out the window, out the building. Everything's up above the ceiling. We're pretty good, and we're ready to go. So we're gonna try and light a fire. And also, engine bay is empty. Already got the engine pulled, and we are gonna put this shiny new, or new quotations, engine into the Mercury today as well. So got a lot going on. We're gonna try and get all this going and hopefully get this engine mounted in today.
There it is.
All right. What's that?
I said I didn't say incinerate the wood.
You gotta leave a little something to burn after you got the
I want to get it started. What do you guys are? Is that good?
A little bit more.
Oh, really?
A little bit more would hurt.
No, little extra fire is good today.
It's like a supercharger, man.
That's going to save on heating though. You're just going to go through a lot of oxyacetylene.
Right. Is that enough, or is that? That's all right.
Well, if,
Now you find out what kind of draft you have.
yeah.
All right, we are all set up here at the Carlisle events Auto Mania at the Allentown Fairgrounds at the Agplex. Got a little bit of everything. Kind of went around the warehouse, pulled a good variety of stuff. Small block Ford, some off-brander, some Packard, Buick, and Chevrolet parts, some Thunderbird stuff, 32, 34. Brought a little variety of speed parts and some advertising, 35 to 40, some books, hubcaps, steering wheels, a little bit of everything. Started the swap meet off right. Bought myself a Packard, 1940 Packard grill for 50 bucks. It is pretty roached, but it's a pretty neat wall hanger. I also bought these Packard Caribbean taillights. I think they're 55, 56. Pretty neat for a custom. I'll probably resell these, but I also got a pretty neat collection of vintage motorcycle helmets, which I'll drop a photo here. There's a small box of them here. These are some of the plain ones, but I have I think there's 7 or 8 metal flake ones that are pretty neat. So hopefully we sell some stuff and find some more goodies to buy.
My rocking chair in front of the stove there with a pipe.
I did sit in front of it yesterday and wrote the to-do list for this week in front of the fire last night. I thought, I got a little extra time. You just sit here and.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, it was. I was like, it's like 3:30. I'm about done. Let me sit for about an hour and just hang.
Old man Murray with his rocking chair,
Yeah,
smoking a pipe.
that's right. So we had a very productive week. We did like a ton of stuff. This is one of these weeks that's just like, when we think back, it feels like it was like 2 weeks because we did so much in a week. It's and it's so much different stuff. That's a great thing having a few of us now instead of just me. So we are all set up at the swap meet, ready to go. So we're hoping to have a successful weekend at the swap meet. We got the engine in the Mercury. I made some little off camera here. I made some little plug wire hold downs. We started wrapping stuff up. We're gonna work on getting the wiring buttoned up a little bit and repaired, get some battery cables made and all that stuff. So that's for next week. So that was pretty much a week in the life of IronTrap in the middle of the winter. And now we have heat. So I'm still learning how to use the wood stove, fire stove, the wood stove. And of course, I forgot last night to bring wood in to dry. So we have some wood after some little bit of snow overnight. So I'm drying the wood as we first started the fire. So I still got to learn it, get things going, but it's awesome to have some additional heat. We ran the heat all day, one day already, and it's been really, really awesome not having the propane heat on, because propane has gotten outrageously expensive. So thank you guys for following along. It's been awesome. Catch you later.